Grateful to have you on, man.
Oh, no
Well, Nate,
problem. No problem.
well, Nate, let's get it all rolling. How did you get involved with football as a kid?
You know what? Just the natural want to play, in the streets of Chicago. Uh, we play tackle in the grass and touch on the concrete. And then when it was snow, back when it used to snow all the time, we have tackle all over the place in the snow.
So, growing up, who were some of your sports role models?
I mean, Walter Payton, definitely. Uh, I love Nebraska football, so like Doug DeBose and Mike Rozier and those guys. And it was awesome, finally getting the opportunity to be recruited and go to Nebraska and meet those guys was pretty awesome.
Heck yeah, man. So the NFL transition for you, what was the most difficult part about that journey for you personally?
The most difficult part, I would say, well, I continually changed positions, you know what I mean? So I was a tight end at one point. They moved me to fullback. I played wingback at Nebraska. So it was it was always a lot of new learning going on. So it kind of stunted my growth a little bit. But I really didn't have too much of a problem, being pretty athletic and being, the size that I was. I didn't really have too many issues.
For sure. So the different parts of the game of football, relationship-wise, and the production on the field, what was more important for you going through your journey of the NFL?
I don't know. If you talk to a lot of guys, until you get locked into a situation, you try not to have too many friends because they end up being gone.
For sure.
You know what I mean? If you end up, really, having a bond with somebody and then they're gone, you're like, damn, they're gone. And then they're going through the same thing. Now they're leaving and trying to figure their life out. And it's just strange. You kind of, like when if someone gets hurt, nobody goes to the hospital. You know what I mean? Nobody goes to see you because you can't see that. You know what I mean? Like you almost psychologically, you can't be involved in that because it proves that you're human. You know what I mean? And that playing in the NFL, you have to believe you're not human, if that makes sense.
For sure, man. Complete sense. You have to have that persona. Hey,
right. You have to trick yourself into believing you're the baddest man that ever walked the earth. You know what I mean? And that's it's something that you really have to navigate, and something that the NFL has done a good job here in the past with the Ricky symposiums and being able to when I was in, it was you just had to get it where you get it. Hopefully you had enough big brothers, to school you. But now with the symposium, which they didn't have last year, which I wish they would have had, that kid in Vegas with that car accident. I don't think that would have happened if they had the Ricky symposium.
Henry Ruggs.
Yeah, right.
For sure, man. So life after football for you, Nate, how have you applied the trials and tribulation of the game of football to your personal life?
You know what? That's the beauty of football is that it is life. You know what I mean? It's just, being a man, raising a family, you get knocked down, you get back up, you work hard, you learn, you're in a situation, you learn the situation, you have to study, study your plays, you know what I mean? And figure out what your next steps will be. And it's just life, man. So I think I've taken all of it and used it in my life after football.
Sure, man. So my next two questions for you, Nate, are brought to you by B&D Sports Media. How can the Bills capitalize next season on their limited cap space, man? They're like $7.5 million in cap space.
It's going to be tough. And that's the thing, with I came along, I was before free agency. So, you got hopefully they can hold the team together. You know what I mean? And hopefully, and that's the having a leader like a Tom Brady or like a Brett Favre. Somebody who would say, and hopefully my man Allen is one of those guys. And because eventually he's going to have to take a pay cut to keep the team together. That's what's going to have to happen. You know what I mean? You're going to have to say, you know what? Take this and give $3 million of my money to these linemen so we can keep these linemen and keep everything intact. And I think that's going to have to happen. So as far as the cap goes, it's short. It's really short. You know what I mean? And hopefully we can get at least one more year out of it before it becomes a monetary issue with players. But I think we might have a year, another 2 years. But Buffalo's a different animal, man. You're there. You love it. You become part of the community. And I think guys would rather stay and win than leave and get richer. So I don't think it'll be the salary cap is not going to be an issue unless it's a guy that we really don't need, because you end up not needing selfish guys like that.
Definitely, man. So my next question is about your second team that you played for, Carolina. Will the Carolina Panthers try to trade Christian McCaffrey coming off an injury last year?
Yeah, they're going to get rid of him. And Buffalo and Carolina was Buffalo South when I was there. Because Pete Metzelaars and Don Beebe, Carlton Bailey, Frank Wright. There was a bunch of us there, because of Bill Polian was the general manager. But they're gonna get rid of him. They're gonna get rid of him. He's been off injured, and they can't. You can't afford to keep paying a guy like that.
Definitely. Like what are they gonna get for him, man? Like
I have no idea, but they're gonna get something. They're gonna get something because they got to cut their losses at this point because he doesn't play half the year. I mean, he's a great player, but I mean, you play eight games a year. We play 16. You know what I mean? You got to be healthy.
17 this year.
Or they're going to start. Or they're going to start using him differently.
I don't know if they can, man.
You know what I mean?
I don't know if they.
I think he could equally be a Cooper Kupp type player. He could do that. He has the skill set to do that. If they, go ahead and play. It's just like, when you have a cornerback, usually late in the cornerback's career, he ends up becoming a safety, you know what I mean, or a free safety. Because, the toll on the body, maybe lose a step, but still has the other skills. So I think Christian McCaffrey would be a great slot wide receiver. And I think that if somebody would take that on and go ahead and put that into place, it would be okay.
Definitely. I think Christian McCaffrey, that workload, I think a couple seasons ago, like that toll, that workload is killed that kid. Burnt the wheels out, man.
You know what I mean? Right, you have to be built for that. You know what I mean? And he's not a big guy. And, some people are big and it's manufactured big, if that makes sense. And some dudes are just big and can take the load, you know what I mean? But you can't. I mean, even the big guys end up getting beat up.
For sure.
So a little guy.
Definitely. Look at Derrick Henry.
Exactly. But I don't think, Christian McCaffrey's not the type of kid that can carry the ball 300 times a year. It's not going to happen.
Nope. Like
after 190, he'll be hurt.
Definitely. Like the running back position, just in the NFL, it just takes a toll on a person's body. Like,
definitely.
And they get
but
they get the crap end of the stick with the contracts too.
Right, because it's not, it's almost not needed. at this point in time. It'll be a time where they get back to it. But a team like Kansas City, a team like the Rams, you really, it's an afterthought. Running back's an afterthought, and it's just something to do when you're not throwing the ball all around the place.
Definitely. It's like a fullback, man. Only a couple of teams have a fullback on their roster.
Exactly. But we're making a comeback. Fullbacks are making a comeback.
I hear you, man. Well, Nate, I'll leave you on.
Kid from San Francisco.
Definitely. Use check.
He's really good. Yeah, he's awesome.
And the guy that played with the Patriots, James Devlin, then Yakum Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Yakum Johnson went in
Right.
there. But you never know, man. Like those two positions, the fullback he has to be a killer blocker. And
has to be a killer blocker. Right. Has to be a big body.
Yep. Well, I'll leave you on this, Nate. How can my audience find you on social media?
You know what? I'm on Facebook, Nate Turner. I'm on Instagram, the real Nate Turner. Just check me out. You can find me. I'm out there.
I hear you, Nate. It's been a blessing to have you on our show, and this concludes our interview.